The Daily Survey with Rhea Rams is about to go live online. Catch the top monster hits of the day based on your votes and other TDS goodness. Streaming video on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your TDS host, Rhea Rams. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1. You just heard Sabrina Carpenter with Please, Please, Please here on the Daily Survey. Good morning, monsters, and welcome to the show. It's me, Rhea Rams, and we have a very, very special guest with us today to start the show. Let us welcome Oliver Cronin.
For having me. Good morning. Manga nangan umaga. Is that right? Did I do that right? Almost.
Yes, you got it.
I learned it like an hour ago, so I'm still trying to learn.
You got it. Magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga.
Yes, there we go. So, Oliver, why don't you introduce yourself to all the monsters who are tuned in right now?
Hi, monsters. My name's Oliver Cronin. I'm Australian. I'm 22. I make all sorts of music, but pop music, dark pop, R&B. And yeah, it's my first time in Manila, first time in the Philippines. I'm so excited to be here. It's such a cool place. Yeah.
It's hot too, right?
It's hot. and it's cold back home in Australia, so it's very big climate shock. But
oh, right. It's
winter. Yeah.
Right.
And I heard this is not even the hot season here.
No. This is actually, it's been a little bit colder here in the Philippines lately.
Yeah, true.
But
feels it, yeah.
but
damn, yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk about one of your songs, Boys Don't Cry. It went viral on TikTok in 2022 with over 1,000 people using it in the app, right? Why do you think this song in particular resonated with so many people?
Yeah, I think that was a really kind of big pivotal moment for me in my career. And I think it hit a certain soft spot in a lot of guys around the world. It's talking, it's about being vulnerable and kind of opening up about male stereotypes and, how hard it is for guys to speak about their emotions.
Right.
And that's something that even since then, seeing the reaction that people had to that song, that I've been trying to do a lot more with my music, is be more vulnerable and speak more of my emotions, because, it's relatable. And, and not just guys, as girls as well. I didn't actually realize the amount of, girls who actually related to that song too. So it's really cool. It was a really cool moment.
Is there like a specific situation or story that inspired that song?
I think at that time, it's still a very prevalent issue, but at the time there was a lot of focus on men's mental health and the fact about how many men, struggle to speak about their emotions and speak on, how they're feeling and cry. And I was like, I want to make a song about this, and because I'm the same, I struggle.
Right.
I make music. That's why I make music.
Of course.
I think it was a really important time for that song, and yeah.
So you wrote that song because of what inspired you with like what was going on in the world, right? But one of your earliest experiences with music, correct me if I'm wrong, you were beatboxing as a toddler.
Yeah, even before I could walk, I was doing like making noises in my mouth. I don't know, just tapping on like tables and stuff. My parents used to get so annoyed at me because everywhere I go, I'd just be banging and making a racket. But I was very into rhythm and beatboxing and any sort of musicality. I was so into it.
How did you discover that?
I have no clue. I think I was a big fan of music. My mom's a musician, so there was always music being played around the house, a lot of different music from all around the world. And I think when I was, learned how to walk and start using my mouth as making noise, I was like, oh, let me create sounds out of my mouth and, make music that way. I don't know how I did it or what I did it, but yeah.
So literally, as soon as you came out of your mom, you were beatboxing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So do you still beatbox up to now?
I can't. Not really, but I do have like a party trick. That I can make like a gazoot out of my mouth.
Okay.
Like
what?
Can you do that again? Yeah, I don't know. That's like the one thing I can still do. So sometimes I like sprinkle it in tracks every now and then for people to hear. Yeah, it's my party trick sometimes.
That's so cool. That is pretty cool. That is a cool. Okay, never mind. I shouldn't try. No, okay. So now, as an artist who's described as like pop with hip hop flavors, would you say that beatboxing would have served as an early influence in how you currently make music?
I think so. I mean, the beatboxing came through just the exposure to a lot of different types of music and genres and all around the world. So I think as a result of that, I was exposed to a lot of different influences, and I guess beatboxing was an early vessel for me, and that kind of progressed into playing the drums and playing guitar and then making my own music on the laptop. So yeah, I guess it definitely was.
When was that? When was it when you started making your own music?
When I was about 15, 16. I kind of took a break from being interested in music. When I got to high school, I was more interested in sports and girls and stuff. And I kind of like fell out of love with music. And when I had really long bus rides to school, like hours on the bus every day. I mean, that I'm presuming that's normal because the traffic here is a whole nother story. but
Indeed.
Oh my goodness. But I had a long bus rides to school, and I just listened to music the whole time to and from school. And then I got to the point where I was just in class with my headphones in the whole time listening to music. And
oh no,
I just became a massive fan of music. And I guess through my previous knowledge of music and growing up around it, it was very natural for me to just fall into making music. And I was pretty bad when I started, but practice makes perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And what exactly was the thing that made you go like, okay, I gotta write a song about this?
I think the first time, when I first started making music, I was just writing about anything and everything and writing about what my favorite rappers were writing about it. None of it was real. And then I started releasing music, and I started seeing how certain people would connect to some songs I would write, and seeing that and being able to heal people was such a big influence. It still is my biggest influence, is seeing how people react through my music and how I can help heal people through my music. So after I started seeing that happening, I was like, oh, I want to start, doubling down and writing vulnerable music and talking about my emotions and making people feel, and healing.
Yeah, it's really about the impact that you make on
Yeah,
people
100%.
that makes it so much more beautiful.
Yeah,
right?
I always say this. I think music is the one art form, well, not the one art form, but art in general, but music in particular will never be overtaken by AI, or never be, there's something about that emotional connection and that human to human connection
Right.
that you can never replace. And it's such a healing. It's something out of this world.
Right. It's human connection can't be replicated by
Yeah.
AI. It would be kind of creepy if they
Yeah,
are able
I mean,
to
they're
do
trying
that.
to do it. They're trying to do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I think, music is the most powerful form of connecting to people. And, without music, there wouldn't be, the world wouldn't revolve. So that's what keeps me going as well.
So were any of the songs that you made early on something that made you pursue music?
Yeah, I got really inspired by myself, I guess. By my early songs were trash, horrible, but I fell in love with the process, and being able to create something from nothing is such a cool thing. It's such a cool concept. And when I first started making music, it doesn't matter how good it was. I just fell in love with the act of doing it. And I'm a very driven person, and I don't like being mediocre at things. So when I was very passionate about music, but I was very bad. And so I was like, I can't be bad at this. I want to
Ooh.
make sure I'm good at this.
Right.
And I started getting better, and I started really falling in love with it because it's so fun. At the end of the day, I just love making music.
I love that. Now, what would you say is your favorite song that you've ever made?
Oh, goodness me. It's probably a song called Balance. It's not out yet. But it's a very personal, emotional song for me about my fiance. But a song that's out in the end was my latest single.
Mhm.
And that's probably my favorite song that I've released.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now, you are said to have a sense of grit and honesty. I mean, you mentioned that vulnerability is one of the most important things that you need to have,
Yeah,
at least for you,
totally.
when
Yeah.
you're writing your songs, right? How would you say that you were able to convey this through your song in the end?
I started writing it from the perspective of being emotional and
Mhm.
healing, and I wrote it through personal experience. When I feel everyone goes through hard times. Everyone does. It's universal. But I just got back from a trip overseas, playing shows all around the world, and it was such a surreal bucket list moment for me, a dream come true. And I was reminiscing and remembering times where I didn't think that I was ever going to be able to do that. I had the
Mhm.
dream, but I didn't know if I was ever going to make it. There was times where I was not in a good headspace with music. I didn't like it. I wanted to quit.
Right.
And I got back from this massive world trip, playing shows all around the world, and I was like, this actually all worked out. It always gets better in the end. And I was thinking about all the hardships that I faced, and I'm like, oh, everything always works out. So I wanted to make an anthem for people going through hard times, to say, you know what, everyone, it's a universal problem. Everyone goes through stuff, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And that's where this song came about.
Right. And if you could like summarize the message of the song in one line or at least one lyric, what would it be?
It always gets better in the end.
Okay, there we have it. I guess this is a good reminder also
Yeah,
to all our
yeah.
listeners that it does get better.
It does, and it doesn't feel like it at the time.
Right.
And I know that for a fact. Every time you're going through it, it doesn't feel like it will get better. But hey, I feel like everyone here is living proof. We're all living proof.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
just have to hang on.
You gotta hang on.
Right.
Yes.
Now, in the end, it's written with this imagery that can come off as very, very personal, making it sound
Yeah.
like you're in a conversation
Yeah.
with someone. Did you write this song for anybody in particular?
I kind of tried to convey the universal aspect of going through it. I don't know.
Right.
I tried to kind of put in common themes of what people face when they're having a tough time through, either if it's a breakup, or something has gone wrong. I was trying to convey that through the lyrics and make it universal so everyone can relate.
Yeah, so I can tell that like when you write your songs, you like to be you like to make it personal, you like to make it honest.
Yeah.
Where do you normally draw inspiration from your own experiences, or do you also look at the experiences of the people around you?
A bit of both, yeah. I'm a storyteller. I'm a songwriter, so sometimes it's my story, and sometimes it's someone around me's story.
Right.
Sometimes I watch a movie and I get super inspired about that story, and I'm like, let me write a song for this movie. So yeah, most of the time it's me, but sometimes I want to write someone a song. I'm engaged. I've been in a relationship for a long time. I'm deeply in love, but I write a lot of heartbreak songs because I have a good imagination, and I know that's what a lot of people go through. So, sometimes it's my personal situation, sometimes not.
Have you ever written a song for your fiance?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
a lot, so many of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how does she feel though that like when you release a song about heartbreak? Is she like, hey?
She's fine with it now, but when I first started making music, everything was about her, and then it got to a point where I'd written like 500 songs. I'm like, I don't know what else I can say here. And so I came back home one time and showed her a song I wrote, and it was a heartbreak song. She's like, is everything okay? Like, we good? But she gets it. It's
Right.
But as long as, and that's for me, is like, as long as I can help heal people, that's all I'm here for. And yeah, if I can help it through someone else's story, then I'll do that.
Right. And it seems like you draw a lot of inspiration from your fiance.
Yeah.
And is there anybody else who you draw a lot of inspiration from? I would guess like maybe your mom, since she was a musician as well.
Yeah, definitely. All my friends as well, like in music and outside of music. I'm a very observational person, and I always listen to conversations, and I find inspiration in very random times and spots. I'm very inspired by nature and outdoors. Every time I see and traveling, going to new countries brings out something else in me too, something very inspiring. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes inspiration comes at the most random times.
Right.
Sometimes I'll see like a billboard with a couple of words. I'm like, this is a really cool word or a cool phrase. That sparks something. So it can come at any moment.
The mark of a true artist, I would say.
I guess, yeah. Sure.
Okay, so
thanks.
you did say that visiting new countries sometimes gives you inspiration.
Totally.
You've been here in the Philippines for like a day.
Yeah.
If you could say like give a title or a lyric to something you picked up here in the Philippines, what do you think it would be?
Well, that's a good question. Everyone is so friendly here, so something probably around that.
Okay.
Everyone is so nice and caring. And I actually wrote a bunch of songs with a bunch of Filipino artists, a couple weeks ago actually.
Hey.
With Philippe from SB19, Lola Amor, Player 2, Jason Dakar. We all made some music together, and that was a very eye-opening experience because I never really worked with people from such a different culture and backgrounds and different musical inspiration. And yeah, we made some amazing music, but that was very inspiring, and I got a lot out of that.
And are we gonna hear any of that anytime soon?
You definitely. I can't give you a date exactly, but yeah, they're on the way.
Well, that's something to look out for, Monsters. A collaboration between Oliver Cronin and some amazing Filipino artists.
Totally.
Those are big names here in the Philippines. So that's super exciting. Something we definitely want to look forward to. But also, you did mention that Justin Bieber was one of your favorite artists.
Of course.
We have that in common.
Of course.
Given the chance, what song of yours would you want to perform with him?
Ooh. Probably my song Burning House.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like it's very Justin Bieber-esque.
Okay.
Very inspired by Justin, yeah.
Well, we hope to see that.
Oh yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Justin Bieber, hopefully we see if he does make a comeback, hopefully we'll see a collaboration between you guys.
Oh yes. Come on.
Right? Now you have been here in the Philippines for a day, like we mentioned earlier. Have you met any fans yet?
No, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
But you did say that everyone's been friendly.
Everyone's so friendly. Everyone's so nice here.
And have you tried anything Filipino, like Filipino
I had
food?
adobo for the first time yesterday.
And how was that?
That was awesome. That was great. I want to try some more adobo from different places.
Right.
I forget what I had. I had something in Malaysia that the Filipinos that I was there with said I should I forget what it was. It was a sweet. Forget what it was, but it was yummy.
Okay.
But I'm definitely taking recommendations. I had Jollibees last night.
Oh, Jollibee. Is that the first time you had Jollibee?
Well, I had Jollibees in Canada.
Okay.
But I heard it's different, and it was. It tasted different.
Okay.
It was great.
Oh, here?
Big fan, yeah.
I love that. Well, there's a lot of Filipino dishes
Yeah.
that we can recommend perhaps off air, but maybe to our monsters who are tuned in, if you guys have any Filipino food recommendations for Oliver Cronin over here, you can send them over to us in the comment section below. Okay, monsters? Now, what do you think the monsters should anticipate for your show?
Oh, a lot of fun. I enjoy myself. My biggest thing of performing live is having fun, and energy it radiates. So, the more fun I'm having, the more fun the audience has. So a lot of fun, a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, just a good time.
And of course, I want you to take your time to invite all the monsters to your show.
Well, my show currently is online on Spotify and everywhere else, Apple Music, everywhere you listen to. But hopefully I can come back to the Philippines and tour and play, a proper set for you guys. But yeah, Oliver Cronin, I'm on all platforms everywhere. And definitely follow me on Instagram and all the social medias, because you'll be the first people to find out about whenever I come here and tour.
Right. So again, monsters, that is at Oliver Cronin.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Everywhere.
TikTok, Spotify, yes. Everywhere. And of course, we also have your song, which we will be playing in a little bit.
Yes.
Yes.
In the end.
But Oliver, would you have any message for your Filipino fans?
I love you, for one. Oh man, I learned how to say it. Oh, I can't say that. I forget. I'm gonna butcher it on live.
I'll teach you.
Tell me.
Okay, so it's mahal kita.
Mahal kita.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Or mahal ko kayo.
Mahal ko kayo. That's what mahal ko kayo. So yeah, mahal ko kayo. Thank you it's really cool for being an Australian and be able to come to Manila in the Philippines and have fans here is the coolest thing ever. So thank you for supporting.
Well, thank you also for coming over here to the Monster and for visiting the Philippines. We can't wait for all your collaborations with the Filipino artists. Mm-hmm. And of course, we can't wait to see you perform someday here in the Philippines.
Yes, so me too.
We are looking forward to that. Again, monsters, follow at Oliver Cronin everywhere if you guys want to stay updated on everything that's happening with Oliver. Now, you know what? Why don't you do the honors and introduce your song to all the monsters right before we play it?
What's up, monsters? This is In the End by Oliver Cronin.
Yes, once again, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. It was so much fun being able to talk to you. And right now, we are going to play the song by Oliver Cronin. Here's In the End, only here on The Monster.
Yeah.
Monster exclusive interview only on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1.